Hey, Nick Darr here with Business Over a Brew. Pleased to shoot this episode at the Old Bakery Beer Company here in Alton. As a lot of you know, the location where we used to shoot the show, Great Rivers Tap and Grill, decided to close down, as businesses do sometimes, and kind of left us scrambling a little bit, looking for a location to shoot our next episode. And on very short notice, we called Lauren at Old Bakery here, and she was immediately said, sure, come down and shoot it. So just very generous of them to let us use the space on such short notice to shoot the show here. It's a really terrific business. They really run a great place here at Old Bakery. And it's a good fit for our show too, because they're a great business, and obviously they serve brew and make it here. So it's a terrific place to have it. If you haven't had lunch here or dinner, I highly recommend you do that. The food is terrific. The beer selection is great bourbon selection as well. So it's just a great place to hang out in a historic building here in Alton. So come check out Old Bakery Beer, and thanks again to Lauren and everybody for letting us have the show here at Old Bakery in Alton. Welcome to Business Over Brew. Nick Darr here with you. Thanks to the Growth Association for sponsoring this show. It's a show where we talk business with some of the Riverbend's most interesting and influential business leaders. Joining you today from a new location that we're trying out, Old Bakery Beer Company. So we'll see how it goes, and if you like it, maybe we'll keep going here. So pleased to be joined in this episode by Andrea Guthrie of the Mirage, Salon, and Barbershop. Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start with the last time you did an on-air interview.
It didn't go well. I'm not good at this speaking on camera thing. It's all good till the camera starts, then I get weird. Basically, I showed everybody my dresser, which had been destroyed, and my underwear.
How old were you?
10.
10 years old?
Yeah,
okay.
so the PTSD, I'm having flashbacks.
Well, there was no storm, so we're just going to talk about your business here. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up, and just a little bit of background.
Yeah, so I'm from Brighton. I went to Southwestern High School. I graduated in 2010. I went to Alvarita's in Godfrey for hair school about 12 years ago, I guess. And I've been doing hair in Godfrey ever since.
So about a year ago, you took the leap to start your own place.
Tell
us about how you went from Alvarita's to working other places to
that. Goodness. Okay, so coming out of hair school, you got to start somewhere. So I chose the chain salon route. They have great training programs. It's just a really good place to learn and get a consistent paycheck too while you're learning and building that clientele. So I did about 7-8 years between the corporate chain salons, between two of them, and then I made the leap to more of a independent contractor role for about 5 years, and I just decided that it was time. Timing felt right.
Was it one of those things where this is always what you wanted to do, or?
See, I get that question all the time.
And I don't have any really original questions.
I know. I get that a lot though, and not really. I was always asked that. A lot of people in the hair industry, they all kind of work for themselves at some point. And it never appealed to me. I really liked being a part of a team and working kind of as a unit. Never really wanted to go do my own thing by myself. I'm a social butterfly. When I made the decision to go off and do my own thing, a big part of why I made that decision is because I had a lot of support and a lot of people that wanted to do it with me from the start. So that was really cool, and it kind of gave me that extra to do it.
So there's lots of ways to do it, I guess, when you open up a salon of your own. Tell us about the concept and the model that you chose.
That was the hardest part. Naming your business is very hard because, especially with a salon, I didn't want to put my name on it. That's weird. That was out. Or any kind of gimmick or cliche. So what I was thinking in my mind is I need to come up with something that's just really cool and unique and just too good to be true, That's what a Mirage is.
Sure.
Something you see that's, too good to be true. So that's how I landed on that one. And then by the grace of God, it was available.
Right? That's also a big, that's one
You're you come up with something and they're it's taken. And I'm so that was hard. But yeah, and I really kind of built everything else kind of around that. But that was the hardest part.
So you're relatively new, about a year ago. You're celebrating a
We're
1 year.
November's our 1 year,
Okay.
so we're like almost there.
So I always thought, when I was, I'm now the owner of the company that I was the employee at. And I always thought when I was employee, boy, when I own the place, we're going to do it this way.
See, I'm the opposite. Like
Yeah.
any of my girls will like tell you, like I'm anti-micromanaging.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually like they'll be like, oh, I'm doing X, Y, or Z. And I'm like, cool, I love that for you.
Right.
Great. I'm still kind of learning that role, I guess.
And it's a little bit different concept because they're contractors.
Right,
They
exactly. Like they're not employees at all. They're all great at what they do. They all do it for themselves. They're all different too, and they all have different services and prices. And it's really cool that collectively we have all these services and things that we can offer.
And what's your specialty?
I do men's hair. I've always worked in a barbershop setting. So I don't do color or like, the things. I don't do the things.
Right. So when I start going gray, you're not gonna.
I can give you lots of great suggested stylists, but I myself,
you're just gonna cut it, right?
You just don't even know. You don't want me to do it. I promise you. Mm-mm.
What's been the most surprising and/or challenging thing about owning a business for you?
Ooh. I guess the amount of time and effort you have to put into literally everything. I didn't realize that, like how much really goes into it. The constant brainstorming, communicating with people, networking, learning the latest and trends and all of this stuff. It's a lot, and I'm learning as I go. I'm really good at like educating myself if I don't know. So, YouTube tutorials.
Right.
Like that gets me through a lot, honestly. I didn't know anything about opening a business before I made that leap.
Right.
That was a crash course, like how to start a business for dummies. That was me.
And it wasn't something, so growing up, you weren't thinking, I'm an entrepreneur.
No, I never had that. And it's interesting because I feel like since I have gotten into this little rabbit hole,
yeah, big rabbit hole.
I have such an itch for it now. Like I'm constantly thinking of like new things and ideas and how can I incorporate this or that. And I never had that itch before.
Right.
It's a new chapter.
It's funny. I was just talking to a friend of mine today, and he was congratulating me. He said, "It looks like things are going great. I know it's hard. I'm sure it's a grind." And I said, "It really, it can be.
Yeah.
But when you really love it, and it's almost hard to not do it.
And it's what you do anyway.
Right.
It's what I do every day anyway. So it's really neat getting that like creative freedom, I guess, to do like, this is my vision. This is what I think would be cool. I would always want to try this or that or try these things together. It's been fun for me. I mean, I'm really learning and it's been going really good. I mean, so far.
For me, the hardest part, and you probably can relate to this, is not that it's hard or the grind of it. It's just I've got a wife and 4 kids, and I know you've got a family too.
I do.
It's so hard to be present as a wife, husband, father.
Exactly.
Because it's hard not to be thinking about it all the time.
And I think that was a little bit harder for me to figure out than I initially went into it thinking, because that was a big part of my decision to open a salon was I need more flexibility to be with my kids. They're getting older. They have all the things every day, and it's hard to be there. So I thought that, hey, if I just do my own thing, I'll be able to be flexible and be there whenever. And it's almost backwards. I feel like I work more now than I did before. But because I work for myself, essentially, I don't feel that like I guess pressure or like I'm being told you can't leave till X, Y, and Z time. You know? Right. It's different.
It's nice to be able to just say, well, I don't have to call somebody and say, hey, I'm not coming in.
But
today.
you almost like hold yourself more accountable.
Sure.
I feel like. Yeah. I feel like I hold myself way more accountable now that if I cancel or can't be there or whatever, like I feel like I'm letting everyone down. So I'm way more punctual than I ever have been, which is hilarious.
It's funny that you say that about like when I left a quote unquote 9-to-5 job to come do this, and I was working in St. Louis, and I thought, I'm going to have so much more flexibility.
No,
and
it's
I'll be in
backwards. It's a
town."
lie. It's a lie.
is,
It's a
yes.
decoy. They trick you with
My
that.
wife did buy it, and but
It's a decoy. They trick you. They make you think you're gonna have all this free time, and next thing you know, you're printing like clothing tags off at 2 a.m. and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
it really is. But it is fun.
It is.
And I think the thing I like about it, and maybe that you can speak to, is just the impact that you get to have on
Yeah,
a lot of people.
I mean, we just found out that we won the 2023 Reader's Choice Salon of the Year. And that was, I mean, my jaw like hit the floor. Like we were so excited just as a team, like shocked.
Well,
and
congratulations.
thank you. It was a really cool feeling for us. It was top 5, I would say.
Those
Best
are the moments that you kind of hang on to, because
It makes it feel like it's
yeah.
worth it. And like, hey guys,
Right.
what we're doing together, it's like, is working. Like, oh.
Sounds like it's a lot of fun to do it with a team that you
And
like.
that's key. Yeah, just the team. The team is everything. The vibe is everything. And that's something that I'm pretty passionate about, I guess.
How did you go about who was going to be in your shop and how assembling the team?
Yeah, honestly, it's been very organic.
Mm-hmm.
I went into it knowing I need somebody to do this because I can't, and I need somebody to do this because I can't. And that's kind of how it started. And then from there, that went really well. And then it was, okay, what can we do next? Okay, we've got these great people now that offer these things that we couldn't do before. And it's just kind of keeps growing. I mean, and when we all get together now, we like to workshop ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's all of us,
Right.
we all succeed together. And I mean, it's pretty funny. Like we've got some big ideas coming up. Like we want to do all the things, but we got to remember, we got to like reel ourselves in a little bit. It's only been a year. We have time, but we have big ideas,
Right.
plans.
So first year, and it sounds like everybody's getting along, but there's
Yeah.
had to have been some conflict along the way. How do you guys handle that?
I think you have that with literally every job, especially in a salon. It's the whole thing. But I feel like especially when you're at the point in your career where you want to go and work for yourself and rent a station somewhere, you've been doing this a while. That's not something that most people do right out of school, because you got to have a clientele before you can make that leap. And I feel like at this point, all of us, we kind of know how to work with other people and how to work together and what we're looking for. And I always say that whenever somebody comes in for like an interview, the first time they see the salon, I always feel like they're interviewing me and interviewing the salon to see if like this is
Sure.
what they're looking for.
Right.
And I feel like the ones that are like, absolutely, this is what I want, it was supposed to be. It fits. They interviewed me, I interviewed them. This is like our vision together,
Right.
and it works. So the people that I have, they want to be there. And we want them there.
When
I want them there.
I've been hiring and firing for a number of years in
Yes,
different
it's
roles.
hard.
And the old school guys would say, make sure that you're interviewing them and not the other way around.
Yeah.
But that dynamic has changed.
It
quite a
has.
bit,
I would
think.
say since COVID, honestly, I feel like people have like found their voice, and I think that's great. Like, yes, but it makes me nervous because I've always been, one of the team. I've never really been in this role I'm in before, like the owner role,
Right.
where it's almost like, can I still be one of you guys? Like, I promise, like I'm the same.
No, you can't be.
No, I know, it sucks. Like,
Right.
I know they got a group chat somewhere without
Right.
me. I just
You're
know
definitely
it.
not in it.
I
and they're
know,
hanging
it's
out
a thing.
on weekends probably, and
Oh,
you're
it
not
sucks.
there.
I'm like, that's when you said earlier, is this what you wanted to do? And I was like, no, like that wasn't my plan, because I
Right.
am like chief organizer of like, coworkers day out. That's
Right.
that's where I shine. So this is
That's been
whole
taken away from you.
Oh, this has been a whole new role for me, and I am learning as I go. We're workshopping it, but we're that's why it's key to have great people.
Right.
So
What makes you unique? What if people are thinking about a place for a salon? Why should they choose you?
oh man. Oh, this is a whole question. Okay, so first of all, I've been on that side of it for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the kind of things that we're looking for as stylists. from a business owner.
Right.
That's your rent price. Like, I'm very reasonable, and I work with my girls, circumstances, all the things. Like,
Right.
that's very important to me because I've been there. And then just making sure that they have everything they need. I mean, they can't do a good job if they don't have all the tools they need. So that's your role as the business owner, to make sure that they have everything they need to just kill it.
When you're in, if you're like most business owners, your head's kind of spinning. You haven't really maybe thought much about it, but what are some of your maybe long-term goals that you have for the business?
My brain is like a tennis court at all time of just ideas. But I do have a couple that I'm seriously workshopping, and we are together as a team too. We want to really make our shop the spot for all the things, not just hair. I mean, we already have nails, we already have skincare, waxing, brows, lashes, extensions, beyond, just hair color and cutting.
Right.
But there's so many other things in this industry that we want to tap into. So it's just a matter of finding the right people to do those things, and just timing. Timing's everything.
Well, it's great what you're doing with the business. Congratulations on
thank
that. A couple quick questions to close it out. What advice would you give to an aspiring entrepreneur thinking about getting started, or maybe somebody that's even been doing it a while that's struggling?
I guess my experience was just a little bit different. It wasn't something that I had thought about a bunch. Maybe here and there, hey, this is how I do it if I was going to.
Right, yeah.
But I pretty much was in a situation where it was now or never, figure it out. And it happened very, very fast. From making the decision to, okay, I am going to open my own business, to buying an actual building, 2 days. It was very fast. And then everything was catapulted into, you got to get this done. And I would say the biggest tool for me was just educating myself. YouTube, it's where it's at.
To follow up on that, take us through, you said it was 2 days.
Yeah, that happened so quick. I don't know. I think I won it was good karma or something. I don't know. That was not planned. I had made the decision to do my own thing and talk to all of the people that needed that information. And then, we had started looking at properties, commercial properties. And I want to say it was the second one I looked at. The first day we were looking and everything felt right. The building itself was an old lawyer's office. So there was some renovating. We had to do a lot of renovating up front. My husband is fantastic. And
that's going to be on video forever.
I know, gosh, I suck. We flip houses together. It's kind of our thing, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah, so he's really good at following his foreman's orders and doing the things. And he did all the things, though he did question my sanity a couple times, because none of the things I was buying matched. Lots of animal print, random colors, but it works together. But when it's stored in the garage, it didn't. Okay?
You had a vision.
I did. I have vision. He doesn't. But he did. Him and my father-in-law, shout out to Dave Guthrie, you rock. They did a lot of, all of it. I did quite a bit myself. Yeah, I did put in a lot of hours. But yeah, so we had about a month maybe. Yeah, I would say 3 weeks of renovation before we were able to soft open. So yeah, but it's been a
Well, we've talked a lot about the building. Where is it? How can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so we're right off Broadway, Herbert Street. So, towards Wood River area, I guess.
So if somebody wants to book an appointment,
you can see it from Broadway. Yeah. Oh, so we have a website.
Yeah.
That was fun to design. You can book online with your preferred stylist. Every girl manages their own schedule, pricing, services, and they can all be found on our website, which is themiragehair.glossgenius.com. And it's on our Facebook page. You can Google us. We're registered.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Check it out. It's a good website. And,
it's very user-friendly.
It is.
You can book the same day too, most of the time.
Cool. Anything we didn't mention? Anything that we need to cover
Oh goodness, I don't know.
before we turn the camera off? So.
Oh, no, I mean, just come check us out.
All right, cool.
Got everything for the whole family.
Andrea, congrats on your success. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.